Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Richardson, and I'll be discussing with you Religious Freedom Acts. I worked with this with Regan Burdick, and I took the opposition stance to this. So, what exactly is the Religious Freedom Acts? So many different states have different versions of this. Colorado has a bill. Obviously, you see Colorado is black, but the different states, the purple states have specific ones that are currently on the books. The black states have tried to pass them or have passed them recently. This map is a little bit out of date. I'm sorry about that, but it was the most recent one that I could find. Colorado specifically has one that specifically protects religious rights, while many states, such as Mississippi and Indiana, have passed their bills specifically to discriminate against the LGBT community under the guise of religious freedom. So, will this actually cause a resurgence of discrimination? Well, as we've currently seen, and with Kim Davis as an example, we've seen that yes, it can cause discrimination. But not only that, according to the ACLU, discrimination has been at least that religiously affiliated schools have fired women because they became pregnant while not married, business owners refusing to provide insurance coverage for contraception for their employees, graduate students training to be social workers refusing to counsel gay people, pharmacies turning away women seeking to fill birth control prescriptions, bridal salons, photo studios, and reception halls closing their doors to same-sex couples planning their weddings. Now, the Religious Freedom Acts and your First Amendment rights. So according to the Bill of Rights, there is an Establishment Clause and a Free Exercise Clause, but we'll be looking at the Free Exercise Clause. And it states that Congress shall make no law prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now, while this sounds that Congress should basically just stay out of it, now that goes into the point that why should Congress even make Religious Freedom Acts in the first place? But we'll go back to the Supreme Court with different decisions that they've made. So as Justice Scalia had stated, that the freedom of religion is not only the freedom of religion, but also the freedom from religion. We can see as in different cases, but the two prominent ones that show that the Supreme Court defends the religious as well as the non-religious under the First Amendment. We see Murray v. Curlett removed prayer in schools, and then we see Sherbert v. Verner, which was a Seventh-day Adventist woman who refused to work on her Sabbath, and so she could not find employment. So they argued that the state must provide her unemployment benefits because she would not break her religion, as it was a legitimate reason to not work. So now we have the Civil Rights Acts of 1964 and 1968. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 states that it outlaws discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. It prohibited unequal application of voter registration requirements, racial segregation in schools, employment, and public accommodations. The Civil Rights Act of 1968 provided for equal housing opportunities regardless of race, religion, or national origin, and made it a federal crime to, by force or by threat of force, injure, intimidate, or interfere with anyone by reason of their race, color, religion, or national origin. Now, while this seems that it would only apply to governments, we can see here that it does not only apply to them, as it states racial segregation in schools, employment, and public accommodations. So anything that belongs to the general public must abide by these laws. So with these two laws on the books, why would we want to go backwards? And finally, in conclusion, do we want to be the generation that returns to things like the Nina sign of discrimination where no Irish need apply? We can put an end to discrimination and work together and come together to be more tolerant of another if we set aside the small differences. I would like to leave you with 1 Peter 4:8-9, and above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, For charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging.